And the reflection on my glass is amazing right now. Can you see my, wow, they feel really dirty. They are really dirty. Hold on. I can't see very well. Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to another movie review. Today we're going to be talking about 10 Cloverfield Lane, which... is it classified as a horror film? I don't know. I probably would have labeled it a little more like thrillery type, but anyways, 10 Cloverfield Lane is from director Dan Trachtenberg. Y'all know how I am with last names. And it comes to us from Bad Robot Studios, which means J.J. Abrams had his hands all up in this production. You guys have probably heard a lot about this movie in the past like month or so. This movie was apparently filmed and completed in secret. So once we started like seeing advertisements and things for it, movie was already done. So it was completed without any like promotional material being put out or anything like that, and then all of a sudden it was just like 10 Cloverfield Lane coming at ya. But there's been so much buzz around this movie because it has the name Cloverfield in it. So naturally, everyone's first question is this a sequel to Cloverfield? Is this a prequel to Cloverfield? Is this related to Cloverfield in any way? What is this? The only definitive answer we've been given from J.J. Abrams is that this movie is a blood relative to the first Cloverfield film. But this movie takes place mostly in a bunker where 3 people are living. Michelle, played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Emmett, played by John Gallagher Jr., Howard, played superbly by John Goodman. Basically what happens is Michelle is in a car accident, and while she is unconscious, she is saved by Howard and brought into his like kind of crazy doomsday bunker underground, where Emmett and Howard are trying to tell her that there has been some, they don't really know what's going on, but there's been some sort of nuclear attack or some sort of terrorist type of attack or something on planet Earth, and it is very unsafe to go outside. The air is poisonous and all this other stuff. So there's this like running conflict through the movie because we only know what Michelle knows. So we only know what happened to her up until she was in the car accident, and then we only know what happened to her once she wakes up. We don't get to see any of the attacks. So even we don't know if John Goodman is telling the truth, if he is cuckoo crazy and is lying to keep them all in the bunker from some strange, sadistic, crazy reason. So that's a nice running conflict through the film, like, and it gives John Goodman this very creepy air about him. He keeps going on and on about how Michelle and Emmett should feel grateful to him for saving them, and he lashes out angrily when Michelle and Emmett do certain things, like when they're having fun and having a funny conversation about something, he freaks out. And yeah, you can tell there's something a little bit off with him, but we just don't know if maybe he's genuine and something's just maybe just a little bit off there, because what we understand, he lost his daughter, and I didn't mean to do that might have been a spoiler, but he lost his daughter, and he's living alone, or if he's actually a crazy person and they need to get out of there. As far as in the movie, I can't I don't really, I guess I could throw up the spoiler card. All right, I'm gonna throw up the spoiler card. so you should have had time to skip. So the only real clues we get to the first Cloverfield movie is the ending, really, when Michelle discovers that Howard is actually a not nice person. They figure out, or Michelle figures out, that his daughter was actually a young girl that he held captive in the bunker and was like crazy, they took a picture, like he made them take pictures together and things like that, and I guess he made her act as if she were his daughter and he kept her hostage in that bunker. Well, Michelle finds that out, so her and Emmett are devising a way to get out of the bunker. Like, she builds an airtight suit and stuff like that in secret so she can move about outside. Howard finds this out, shoots Emmett, and then there's this, you know, very tense thing where Howard doesn't quite know that she's involved yet, and he's trying to convince her that what he did was okay and right. And then of course when he finds out, things explode and she needs to escape in a hurry. When she finally gets outside, she's attacked by 2 alien life forms. One of them is about the size of a car, and then the big Mac Daddy of alien beings comes swooping in. It looks like it's kind of like some sort of like patrol thing that's coming through. It almost reminds me of War of the Worlds. Like the little tripod thingies that like scoop people up or whatever. That's like what a big Mac Daddy thing is almost. It kind of like notices the commotion going on between Michelle and this other thing, and it comes in. And so there's like, after this whole like long tension building film in this bunker that seems more about like the people than any aliens, like up until that point it didn't seem like it had anything to do with the Cloverfield movies. I'm like, there's no aliens, there's no alien attack, anything like that. All of a sudden it's like, oh my flipping god, aliens. And then she has to fight, all of a sudden fights her for survival with these aliens. I can only imagine how daunting that is. She just gets out of this bunker and she realizes that Howard was lying about the air. You know, she rips the hole in her suit and then she realizes that the air is fine, and then all of a sudden she's attacked by these things and has to fight for her life, which she defeats them with a Molotov cocktail, which was pretty cool. And then she's driving along and there's like some radio broadcast that they need help fighting in Houston, which I can only imagine is fighting these alien beings. And she kind of gets this like, she's at this moment at a literal crossroads where she could go to Houston or she could, you know, go on her own, and she gets this like super determined look on her face and turns towards Houston, and that's kind of how the movie ends. Apparently there is a reference to the first movie within the movie. I did not see this. Apparently there is a letterhead on a piece of mail or something of Howard's that says Bold Futura, however you say it, which is the company responsible for the monster in the first film. So there's that. So I guess Howard is kind of like the relation between these 2 films. He used to work for them or something like that, or is related somehow to the company that created the monster in the first film. So, but that's all we get, really. I haven't read about any other references in the 10 Cloverfield Lane film, and I even missed that. I don't even know where that was in the film. I've only seen it once so far. So I completely missed that first reference. And even then I still would have gone over my head, because I don't know if I talked about this, but I hated the first Cloverfield movie. I guess I should have said that at the beginning. But it was a really good movie. The whole bunker thing was very like tense, and even like when Michelle kind of accepts her fate and starts to believe Howard and everything like that and connect with Emmett and stuff like that, like you still are kind of unsure. Like you still, at least for me, I still felt this uneasiness, like I wasn't convinced, which turned out to be kind of right because Howard was actually a crazy person. I can't talk enough about how good John Goodman's performance was in this movie. It was so amazing. Like he gave me chills during some parts. It was absolutely amazing. Bravo. Bravo to John Goodman. He was all the actors were, I mean, all three of the actors did a very good job, but John Goodman to me stood out among the three. I'm still a little bit daunted by the disconnect between the bulk of the movie and the end of the movie. Like, when she finally escapes, there's just like this moment of like catharsis almost, you know, she realizes the air is clean and she can, you know, she's thinking like she was probably just a victim of this crazy person, and then all of a sudden these aliens swoop in, and I'm just kind of like, it just like, and it's so fast after that, like until the end, it's just like literally like a roller coaster ride until the end, and it just like happens to you, and then it's over, and then the movie's over, and you're just kind of like, what just happened? And I'm still kind of feeling like that. I still haven't really made sense of the ending and how it connects to the rest of the movie. The only thing I can work out the only thing I can work out in my head is that John Goodman was just a very, what's the word I'm looking for? He was like a very opportunistic, crazy person. Like when this attack happened and he takes Michelle in, it just seems like he kind of took advantage of the situation. So he seemed like a very opportunistic psycho is what I got from the end of it, or that's how I rationalized the whole bunker thing. I still haven't figured out the end. I'm still working on that. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that. It was just so jarring. But overall, I thought it was a good film. It wasn't found footage, which I was very happy about. I was kind of concerned. I was like, if it's related to Cloverfield, is it gonna be this stupid shaky cam again? It wasn't, so it's really good. And again, John Goodman, wonderful acting. Definitely would recommend go see this, especially if you're a fan of the original Cloverfield. I guess the way J.J. Abrams described it is probably the most accurate way to describe it. It is a blood relative to the original Cloverfield film. I would imagine. I can't see it being like a prequel, or it's not related in any way to the events in New York as far as I'm concerned. So if you saw 10 Cloverfield Lane, please let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about it. And as always, you're always free to leave suggestions for movies, video ideas, etc., etc., etc. in the comment section as well. Please give the video a like if you did like it. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more of my face and hear more of my voice. And thank you if you were subscribed already. And until next time, stay strong.